Are you getting left behind in real estate? Are you still trying to generate attention and trust the old way? Are you expecting people to go searching for you? Hey folks, this is Todd Tramonte. I've been leading a real estate team and brokerage and coaching agents in DFW for a long time, 20 plus years. We do well over $1 million in GCI every single year and coach agents to get out of the chaos and the grind and the beating of it all into the freedom and the wealth and the business that supports the life they really want to live. And today we're diving into video, short form video, which in many ways has not replaced, but has mostly replaced the old search and find approach of generating new clients and reviving existing clients. So what would it look like for you to have your own short form video system in your business to generate new clients and trust and retain old ones without it becoming your new job, without you having to be an influencer and a constant video creator? We're diving into it today, and you'll have a plan when we go. So we're going to talk about some of the things we're doing. I've got Ian Daniels with me, our team leader here at the Todd Tramonte Home Selling Team, and a coach here at Real Estate Growth Systems, helping me lead the way with agents all over North America.
I want to begin with a question, because I think there's going to be people out there that are like, well, I don't even know what short form video is. So can you give a quick definition of what you deem short form video to be?
Most people are going to say under a minute, and more, they're getting shorter and shorter and shorter. Typically, short form video content is viewed on the major social platforms, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, but I promise this isn't going to be about TikTok, and YouTube. You cannot forget YouTube. I see that in our world, that's where the bulk of this is happening. And the reason it matters is because the attention span of the audience has shrunk and all sorts of other things. But there's a lot of people that are going to recognize your face before they know your phone number, before they know your website, before they maybe even know your name, because they're watching your video. The way this used to go is I found you on the internet. And the way it's often going, and you know this because we get calls all the time, is I've been watching your videos, or my friend told me about your videos, or whatever the case is. So
I was listening to your commissioned podcast.
Yeah, that happens nonstop. Really, just constantly. But this is commissioned, and this is where we help agents go from the chaos and the grind of not knowing what the heck is going on and just trying to make a buck to living in the freedom and the wealth and the calm and the peace of having a business that supports the life you want to live. We say commissioned two ways. We want to earn commissions and make money. We also want to be on mission to live an incredibly impactful, awesome life. And that's what we're doing here on this episode. So listen, the game has changed. It's not about people, Googling your name or searching realtor near me. That stuff still happens. You still want to win at that. But if you are not putting your face and building some relationship and giving someone the opportunity to say, or at least think, I already know her, I feel like I know him, then you are in trouble, because lots of other people are doing that. So we talk about ACE, authority, celebrity, and expertise, ACE, and how we build that. Now you can build that by blogs and articles and website content and profiles, and you should. But one of the easiest, best, and now by far most proven ways to do that is through video, and especially high quantities, not excessive quantity, but a high quantity of quality short form videos. This is where people feel like they know you. This is where you answer their questions before they know they had to ask them. This is where you educate people. This is where you make really complicated, scary, anxiety driving things feel simple. This is where celebrity, by the way, when we say that, means like people want to be associated with you. It's not that they want your autograph. You're not a professional athlete, although if you are, this is probably easier for you. But this is where people want, when your name comes up, they're like, oh yeah, I know her. We used her. That's our realtor. So that's what we're talking about. You're recognizable, you're trusted, there's an affinity towards you. This is what we're trying to create. Now, Daniel Priestley is an author that I like and has become a friend of mine. He's spoken at our summit a few times. One of the things he teaches is this idea called 7-11-4 to get to that place of authority, celebrity, and expertise, to build that trust. I'm just going to break it down for you really quickly why this short form video deal is so powerful here. He says, and this is based on research done by Dunbar and some Google proven search related statistics and things like that, but he's saying that you want people to have consumed your content, consumed your information in any format, but for 7 hours before you try to do business with them. And he's saying you want them to have had 11 interactions with your content. So they came back to your videos 11 times, or they came back to your blog, or blog and video, or blog and video and events, or whatever it is. 11 different interactions for 7 hours or more in 4 different locations or platforms or contexts, right? So in person, on YouTube, on Instagram, on a podcast or radio or whatever, or reading your newsletter, whatever the case that it is. 7 hours over 11 interactions over 4 different locations. If you can do that, your conversion numbers are going to go up. Your popularity is going to go up. Your brand building and your referability is going to go way, way up. And short form video is absolutely one of the best, and here's the good news, easiest ways to do that. So one of the biggest mistakes I see people make is they start making content for like everyone everywhere. Just tons of work for really an audience that maybe isn't there. If you're specialized in Salt Lake City real estate, trying to talk to every home buyer or seller in America or worse, the world, I'm not saying it can never work. I'm saying it almost never works. So really what you want to do here is stay local. Create short-term video content for local folks, right? Local content gets local clients, right? So if I'm talking about what's happening in Frisco, someone in Frisco knows that's for them. Mm-hmm. If I'm talking about what's happening with first-time home buyers everywhere, I might snag that first-time homebuyer audience, but I may not snag their loyalty or their affinity in any way whatsoever. So you want to be local to the city, local to the school district, local to the neighborhood, local to the property type, local to that part of town or zip code.
I was going to say, like, you can be really local to certain neighborhoods specifically. What you have to think about is, who is this video for? Because if you just make a video with nobody in mind, like you're just making it for the sake of making a video, things don't work.
Yeah, mistake number 1 is you're just spewing info, right? So it's not for someone. Mistake number 2 would be it's for everybody, right? I'm talking about the Federal Reserve or mortgage rates only, not how that impacts McKinney, Texas, or Richardson, Texas,
right,
or Aledo, Texas, right? There's a major, major difference in saying, I'm a real estate expert versus saying I'm a Salt Lake expert, or I'm a Chicago West Side condo expert, right? The other thing you've got to do is you got to hook somebody. You got to grab their attention, right? You have to, why would someone want to watch your video, right? Like literally, what's the reason, right? So in the first few seconds, you've got to grab their attention. You've got to hook them. Now, my kids do this all the time. They kind of make fun of YouTube videos that start with, "Hey guys," like who cares? Everyone says that, right? So you've got to hook somebody early. And I like the idea of what I call contrarian thinking or contrarian leadership. So if everybody's saying, rates are up or the war is bad, you might say, what's good for home buyers about higher interest rates? Or how is the war in Iran benefiting you as a home buyer in Dallas, Texas today? I'm not saying you should use those. I'm saying those are examples of how being contrarian, never be dishonest or make things up, but how is the opposite, the contrary of what everybody else is saying, how is that valuable to you? How is that valuable to the viewer? How is that difference? You don't want it to just be clickbaity. You don't want it to just grab attention for no good reason that you can't back up, but what's something you could do honestly, ethically, creatively, that's going to grab somebody's attention in those first few seconds, and then do it again. Hook them and hook them again. Right?
It's the most basic marketing thing you could think of, right?
Yep.
Every single thing has a hook. Next time you're watching TV or watching an ad, keep an eye on the ad, because the ad is hooking you with the idea of something. I've noticed more now, like the car commercials.
Yep.
They're hooking you with the idea of, you can buy this vehicle to go and create memories with your family by driving to so-and-so and through forests and to oceans and to mountains. And it's like, But you can do that. If you buy this vehicle, this is what it will allow you to do.
And half the time it's just implied. I don't remember the last time a car
They don't say
commercial talked about weight capacity or cylinders
it's just
or horsepower.
taking you somewhere.
Yeah. Now you do have to hook. So they're hooking often visually and emotionally.
Yeah.
And depending on what you're doing, if you're doing short form video, you can do that. At volume, a lot of times it's literally just with your words. It's just with the hook. And it's got to be honest, it's got to be valuable, and it's got to be different. And that's where I'm using that term contrarian. Ideally, it sounds backwards. Whoa, that's really, I've never heard that. Let me lean in. Let me pay attention. So
Great idea. I just came up with next video. We need to put you in a fisherman's outfit.
Okay. We'll be a fisherman. I'll have a pole and I will
have a hook.
Hook the audience. How about that, folks? Okay. The next thing that is really critical here is that you want to put some thought into this, right? You want to be creative. You want to be clever. You don't just want to grind it out and make a million videos all the time, right? You want to be valuable and you want to be interesting, right? So you want someone to be able to get a lot of value out of what you're doing. And you want to be able to generate value from what you are already doing. So I said this a little bit earlier, but if you're writing a blog for your website, can you create some videos out of that? One topic, one simple point to get across, one interesting hook, maybe one challenge or one call to action, and you're gone. 30 seconds, 28 seconds, 51 seconds. This doesn't have to be really robust. If you wrote an article, if you wrote a really great email to a client explaining a tough situation, could you turn that into a video or 2 or 3? That could have a hook, be compelling. You don't have to work so hard that you have to have 1,000 ideas. Think about all the places you could be pulling ideas from. Do you have a team meeting? Do you have a training? Are you recruiting? Are you hiring? Are you problem solving? Are you sending emails? Are you writing blogs? Are you writing newsletter articles? Is anybody else doing that on your team that you could expand from?
Is it safe to say that one of your favorite phrases in the world, I'm shaking my head, would be that what you're describing is to work smarter and not harder?
It would not be accurate to say that's my favorite phrase, but right here, I'm probably am saying that, right? I like someone who is smart and works hard. But what we are saying here is this isn't about just more grind, more hustle, more grit, come up with 20 ideas a week and do 20 videos. Now, there's nothing wrong with doing 20 videos, but what I'm saying is most of the ideas are probably already there from what you're already doing, your team is doing, your email, your social, your training, your maybe a class you took and you're like, I could explain that better. Those are where a lot of this are probably already coming from.
Yeah, and I was joking with that because it's definitely not one of your favorite sayings.
Right.
But when we do like a longer form video, we are repurposing and using a long form video in multiple different ways
for sure
in exactly what you're describing.
Yep. And that's another point. I don't want to overemphasize that because I think a lot of people are making the mistake of taking a 20-minute video they did for something else, dropping it into Opus Clip, Opus AI, and they're like, oh, I got 11 videos, and that's it. And then 9 or 10 or maybe all 11 of those 11 videos aren't very good.
You have to have a strategy to go along with doing that.
Now, if you can get 3 or 4 good videos out of that, by all means, great. But those videos need to have a hook. They need to have one singular clear point. They need to be engaging, ideally contrarian or differentiated. And I think you need to have a good call to action in there as well. So always end with like a destination. Where are you trying to take people? As a business, this is another episode. We've done some. We could do more of like, I take people from point A to point B. So I take first-time home buyers from paying rent to building equity, right? So I take most of the people I work with, I take all of them from a similar point A to a similar point B. You want each video to help people get from A to B, from a point A to a certain point B, or just a few points A to points B is kind of what I'm trying to say. So you want to make sure that your videos are doing that. You don't want to be like, hey, thanks for watching. You don't want to be like, hey, I hope you liked it. You're trying to get them to do something. Then the action item needs to be very simple. So you might just say like, comment interested for, and we'll send you some more info, comment tour and we'll reach out and connect with you to go see this property, that kind of thing. Click like for this or, click share for that or whatever. So you're just asking them to do something so simple that it indicates a next step that you can follow through on, right? So give them a destination. right? Follow me for weekly market updates. Comment below and we'll create a video about your, answering your question. Things like that where people know exactly what to do. So I hope this has been tactical and helpful. We're not quite finished, but I do want people to know that your clients, your prospects, the people that are going to be buying and selling houses in your market are watching videos right now. They're watching video more than they're searching for realtors on the internet. They are watching video to see if they like you or trust you, or if you are like them, or if you know what you're talking about before they're Googling you, before they're calling your office, probably before they're even going to your Google profile, definitely before they're going to your website and filling out your form. Okay? So if your competitor is getting to, quote, know them, if they're 7-Eleven-4ing them, if they're building trust, if they're sharing some personality and affinity with them, as well as educating and pointing them towards real estate, your competitor is going to win. I wrote a book years ago called The 5 Lies That Will Ruin Your Real Estate Career. And one of the chapters of that book is the best agent does not win the client. Certainly not always. The best marketer normally does. And short form video is a great form of marketing right now to identify who wants what you have, who's at point A that wants to get to the point B that you help people get to. And it's a great way to demonstrate your expertise, build local celebrity, build authority, create clarity, solve people's problems. But people don't trust you just because you tell them to. They trust you because they've watched, listened, they like you, they've maybe laughed a little bit, they've maybe said, oh, wow, that was super helpful. That maybe it's been sent to them by someone they trust. But you need to build your authority, celebrity, and expertise. And short form video is a great way to do it. It's pretty easy, it's pretty low cost, and others are doing it. So if you don't, I think you're going to get left behind. But if you do it lazily without a plan, I also think you're going to end up spending a bunch of time, energy, and money and not getting the result that you want. So hopefully this episode has been valuable for you. If you'd like to implement this system in your business, all you got to do is click the link below this episode, jump on my calendar, totally free, and we can talk about how we are and how you can implement short form video in your business to generate new clients, retain old ones, make a bunch of money, and have great positive impact in the world. There's no cost to you whatsoever. Just click the link, jump on my schedule if I have time remaining, and we'll talk for 15 minutes or so about implementing this or anything else in your business. And then if, no pressure, but if you want to talk about coaching or our mastermind or attending a real growth summit in September, we would be thrilled to talk to you about that as well. So click that link near this episode, and we'll chat with you very soon. If this episode was valuable for you, give it a like, subscribe to the podcast, leave us a review. They're really, really helpful. We really would appreciate that. Or share this with somebody else that would help, and we'll talk to you on the next one.